Her name was Althrash, lay across the shattered valley like a fallen mountain. Her silver hair flowed over broken towers and silent temples. Each breath she took rolled across the land like a fading storm. The sky itself seemed dimmer around her commander. Elias Vaughn stood near the curve of her hand to her. He was smaller than a grain of sand to humanity. He was the last man reckless enough to try the. Giants had once ruled 3 continents. They shaped oceans. They lifted cities from stone. They sang to the stars. Now they were gone. Plague had taken most, war had taken the rest. Only Althra remained, the last fertile Giantess. The final living bridge to an ancient race. Humanity had not destroyed them. Humanity had arrived. Talatalius remembered. The first time she had spoken to him, he had expected thunder, he had expected anger. Instead, he found sorrow. You are fragile, she had said. But you endure now. Her great silver eyes shifted toward him, dim but a wary. Elias, she whispered, her voice trembled. Through the valley I am here, he said. He removed his helmet. Cold wind brushed his face. He wanted her to see him. Clearly, there is no time. She breathed. Her pulse was failing. Human doctors had scanned her colossal body. Her organs were shutting down. Her cells no longer renewed. Even Titan medicine carved from relic crystals could not stop. If there was one option, the continuance core rested in a sealed case behind him. A device built when Earth had nearly died, designed to merge genetic lines to preserve a species through adaptive fusion. It had never been tested beyond human trials. It had never been used on something this vast. It would not simply plant life, it would bind 2 bloodlines together. It required a host, and the host would not remain unchanged. Stepped closer to her palm, stone fragments shifted beneath his boots. If I activate it, he said, your child will live. Her I sharpened slightly, but you will not carry it, she said. He inhaled slowly. Will silence followed. The wind stopped. Even the distant human transports hovering along the ridge seemed to freeze. You would become the vessel, she asked. Yes, you would surrender your formias. Her massive fingers trembled, not from weakness alone, but from something deeper. Why, she asked. Elias looked up at her. At the last guardian of a fallen civilization, because no one should end alone, because your people deserve a dawn, because mine already lost theirs. She watched him for a long moment. Then a faint warmth touched her fading expression. You are small, she said, but your heart is vast. He climbed onto her hand. Each step felt like walking across cold marble. He reached the center of her palm and placed the core against her skin. Blue light spilled outward in veins of energy. Her body shuddered. The device recognized living code. It began rewriting. Pain hit him instantly. His veins burned. His vision fractured. He fell to his knees, but did not pull. AI energy surged upward like a tidal wave. It was not only power, it was memory. He saw her childhood beneath twin suns. He saw cities carved from crystal cliffs. He saw giantesses weaving light into towers. He felt the laughter of beings who lived for centuries. Then he felt their extinction. Slow, lonely, unstoppable. He understood her grief. I'm here, he thought. Through the agony, her consciousness brushed his ancient, gentle Afraida. Core demanded balance. Her body could no longer sustain creation, so it redirected the forming life into him, his. Bones reshaped his cells, expanded. New structures formed within him, designed for growth far beyond human scale. He screamed without sound. Last, the light peaked and shattered outward. The core cracked into dust. Elias collapsed against her skin for a moment. There was nothing. Then he felt Eta, heartbeat, not his. Steady, new Olivia. Althra gasped. Her fading eye brightened with sudden brilliance. It lives, she whispered. He could barely speak. Yesters, the size of rivers, gathered at the corners of her eyes. You carry our future. We carry it together, he answered. We. Strength drained rapidly now. The energy required for transfer had consumed what little she had left. Do not mourn me, she said. He pushed himself upright. Stay, with May will stay, she murmured, but not in flesh. Her eyes softened. Raise her with courage. Teach her both worlds. Her breath slowed. You are not alone anymore. Ilyasa, I closed her hands. Still the valley fell silent. The last fertile giantess was gone. Elias lay in her palm, trembling. Human medics rushed forward in hovering carriers. They lifted him carefully. They saw the changes within him. On their scanners they saw impossible growth patterns unfolding. Months passed. Humanity built a sanctuary around the valley. They guarded the stone form of Althra. They guarded the man who now carried a titan. Child Elias endured transformation. His height increased, not to giant scale, but far beyond normal human. His bones strengthened, his lifespan extended, his eyes gained a faint silver glow. The child grew. Scientists could not fully explain it. They stopped trying. He often visited the stone body of Althra. He would place his hand against her silent fingers. She will know you, he would whisper. Years turned. The time came. At dawn, the sky burned gold. Clouds rolled back as if making stood before the ruins. Pain surged through him, but it was different from before. Not destruction. Creation light erupted around his body, not violent, radiant. The ground trembled from the earth. Beside Althra a shape emerged, silver skin gleaming small. At first, then rising higher, young giantess stepped into the world. She was not as tall as her mother had been, not yet, but she was magnificent. Her eyes opened, bright silver with flecks of blue. She looked down at Eliassi, was taller than any human now, but still tiny compared to her. She knelt instinctively. Father, she said. Her voice was softer than Althra, but strong. He smiled through tears. Hello, little star. She studied her hands, flexed her fingers, looked at the stone figure behind Harry. Remember warmth, she said. I remember a voice. He nodded. She loved you before you had formed. The young giantess touched the stone hand of her mother. I am not alone, she whispered. No, he said. You carry a world behind them. The valley shifted again. Cracks spread across other stone forms, not corpses, seeds. The fusion had not only preserved one life, it had awakened dormant titan code within the earth. More silver light flickered beneath rock. The lineage was returning. Humans gathered at the ridges, not with weapons, with Euler stepped beside his daughter. Your name is Lyra, he told her. She repeated it softly. Lyra. The name echoed across the valley. She looked at the humans in the distance. Are they ours? She asked. They are family, he said. She smiled gently. Then we will protect them as they protected you. Elias felt the weight of years lift from his chest. Humanity had not conquered the giants. They had not replaced them. They had joined them. The last fertile giantess had not died in vain. Her sacrifice had fused a fragile species into something stronger. Lyra straightened to her full height. Sunlight caught in her silver hair. Wind carried it like a banner of rebirth. Lyra stood at her side, small yet unafraid. The world had nearly lost its wonders, but compassion had rewritten fate. And in the quiet valley where a giantess once fell, a new era began, not of endings but of shared dawns. Asterisk.